Now seems to be as good a time as any to talk a little bit about pizza sizes, pizza measurements, and for good measure, pizza pricing. Trigger warning. For those of you who may be triggered by the use of imperial measurements, I apologize in advance, but we're not going to be doing anything that requires science or accuracy in this video. Some have suggested that pizzas are measured in inches in the United States. That is a casual misnomer that ignores an important distinction. Pizzas in the United States aren't measured in inches, they're marketed in inches. Those are not the same thing. Not counting the big mega chains with their hyper-standardized manufacturing methods, pizzas have natural variations in size, and I'm fine with that. I'm not here to shame pizza restaurants. Well, at least not about the size of their pies versus their marketing claims. All right, let me walk that back just a little bit. I would shame them if it were egregious. Say, for example, they marketed a 14-inch pizza, which is 36 centimeters, and their pizza was 3 to 5 centimeters smaller, then I'd call that out. I use centimeters for a few reasons. 1, it's more precise. 2, I'm intentionally divorcing the marketing claims from the measured reality. And then finally, this exercise is not about the diameter of the pizza. It's about the cost per unit, which only has meaning as a relative measure compared to the other pizzas on the cost table. So rest easy. We're going to continue using the metric system because it's the right thing to do. However, as a concession to one end of the bell curve, if a pizza place markets their pizza in inches, I'll try to put a picture of the menu or the menu board in the video. So in a prior video, I mentioned the area of a pizza grows along an exponential curve, while pizza prices typically grow along a more linear scale, and how that does tend to make pizzas a better value for quantity, but not necessarily quality. For these examples, I'll be using information recently taken from the Papa John's website, which is in imperial units. The reason I've chosen Papa John's is that it was the major US chain that I could find that offered 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16-inch pizzas with the same style of crust, giving us 5 price points for the exact same type of pizza. Just as an aside, taking information from the Papa John's website is a lot more enjoyable than eating a Papa John's pizza. An 8-inch pizza is just slightly larger than 50 1/4 square inches. A 16-inch pizza is just slightly larger than 201 square inches. It's 4 times bigger. That's not a coincidence, it's math. Double the diameter of a pizza and you quadruple the area. But I think you would be hard-pressed to find a pizza place that charges 4 times as much for the 16-inch pizza than an 8-inch pizza. Using the Papa John's numbers, they charge $9.99 for the 8-inch pizza and $19.99 for the 16-inch pizza. The price, like the diameter, has doubled, but the amount of pizza has quadrupled. Looking at the table of their prices, you can see that the price goes up either $2 or $3 with each $2 increment. The actual cost of making pizza is going to comprise both fixed costs, regardless of the pizza size, like labor, and costs that vary with the size of the pizza, like the ingredients. My guess is that the pricing is more about the optics than the actual cost. Roughly $2 per 2 inches has a certain pleasing symmetry that probably plays well when someone is just glancing at the menu. So, where am I going with this? I point this information out because I realize that my cost per unit calculations are fraught with uncertainty. It's not a perfect measure. It cannot be. If, in an ideal world, every pizza restaurant sold a 12-inch pizza, I would be able to use a 12-inch standard and get an accurate cost per unit comparison in every case. But even that wouldn't take into account how they stepped up and down through their prices for other sizes of pizza. For that reason, I just had to pick a standard for my use. In this case, since quite often I'm eating pizza on my own, I've opted to choose the smallest pizza on the menu. From personal experience, I've also found that smaller pizzas tend to be a little bit more consistently well cooked. That's not a hard and fast rule. It's just my observation over the years. Another concern about the price per unit calculation is inflationary pressure. Prices go up with time. Pizza prices in December may be substantially higher than in January. There's little that can be done about it. We live in an imperfect world. Fortunately, in this imperfect world, there is pizza.